More Herman Chronicles. Herman and the Wildfires. The morning breeze was blowing toward them from across the valley as Herman and Harry stood by the woodpile. It had been a really hot summer and the breeze felt wonderful. "Dad," said Harry, "let's take the whole family and go to the donkey farm for the day." "Sounds like a good idea," Herman responded. "I'll get the rest of the family. We can travel together, have lunch in the barn, and then get back by nightfall." He hurried over to his home by the water tank. "Hester, Minnie, Winnie, George," he called. "We're going on a day trip to the donkey farm." Everyone in the mouse family was excited. They had not been on a day trip in a long time. Scurrying from bush to bush, they kept their eyes open for hawks as they headed down the hill. When they got to the donkey farm, it was a hive of activity. There were several horse trailers, and the donkey lady and her friends were busy loading up all the animals. Herman crept up close and listened to them talking and was horrified to hear that a wildfire was headed their way and expected to arrive within a few short hours. "Hester," he said in terror, "what should we do? We can't escape the fire if it comes this way." Hester had gathered Minnie and Winnie to her side and was also worried about the fire. "I don't know, Herman," she replied. "Can we return home? Is the fire heading that way?" Herman looked at his family somberly, weighing his next words carefully. "This can be a matter of life and death," he finally said. "The lady at the donkey farm is evacuating the animals, so I think the fire is heading our way. We had best not return home until the danger is past." Just then, Harry sniffed the air with his nose and exclaimed, "I smell the smoke! The fire must be burning strongly. What could have caused this fire?" All mouse eyes turned to George, the oldest and wisest mouse of the family. "I don't know," he said hesitantly. "It's sad, but there are wildfires every year. Many are started by lightning. Some are started by careless campers or smokers, and sometimes they are started by an arsonist. All I know is that the people manage to get away, but we animals suffer the most." Winnie looked at her grandpa with her big mouse eyes and asked, "What's an arsonist?" Hester answered for George, saying, "An arsonist is a person who deliberately sets a fire. It's not an accident, and they mean to do it. They like the excitement it causes." "That's not right," Winnie declared. "No, it's not," George replied. "But many things in this world are not right or fair. We have to just do the best we can." "Look," Herman said, "the donkeys don't want to get in the trailer. I think they are afraid of something new. Now is our chance. If we run in quickly and hide in the corner, no one will see us and we can escape the fire with the other animals." "I hope so," Hester said. "I can see the smoke and the flames coming over the ridge at the end of the valley. The wind is blowing strongly in our direction. We really have no choice." The mice ran quickly into the horse trailer and hid in the far corner. The donkeys were really not cooperating at all. There would be one person pulling them up the ramp and two people pushing on the other end. The donkey lady was enticing them inside with fresh carrots and, in all the excitement, no one even noticed the mice as they scurried by. The mice huddled together for comfort, fearful of what was going to happen next. Finally, the trailer took off with a lurch, and the twins clung to their mother, whimpering softly. Harry was concerned for his little sisters, but didn't know what to say to calm them. He remembered their last trip when they had arrived at a chicken farm, almost becoming a snack for a hungry cat. The trailer continued on its journey until finally they arrived at their destination. Herman and Harry quickly scampered to the side of the truck as the donkeys were led out. When they got a peek outside, they saw that they were in some kind of park. The donkeys were being led into a barn where people were waiting for them with buckets of water and feed. At the sight of food, Herman realized that he was hungry, and so was his family. They needed to go outside and find something to eat. As Herman and Harry returned to the mice waiting in the back of the trailer, Hester screamed out in fear, "The door! They're crossing the door! We need to get out of here now!" Herman quickly led his family through the half-closed door and outside to safety. The next step was to find food and a place to stay for the night. The donkeys had been led to a barn with many stalls and pens. The barn was nearly full to capacity, and the animals were very nervous. This was not home to any of them. The wildfire had forced them all from their own homes, and everything was very strange. Even the people providing the food and water were strangers. The horses and donkeys snorted and stomped their feet. Cows mooed uneasily, and goats and lambs paced in their pens. The mice hid in a far, dark corner, hoping they'd be safe. "I'll see if I can find something to eat," Herman said bravely. "I'm right behind you," Dad whispered Harry. "Be careful," squeaked Hester and Minnie and Winnie. Herman and Harry stuck to the shadows, but just as they turned the corner to a small storage room, someone said, "Who are you, and what are you doing here?" Herman and Harry froze and looked around. "Over here," called the voice. Herman and Harry looked, and there on the lower rung of a chair in the corner sat another mouse. "We came to get away from the wildfire," Herman answered. My name is Herman, and this is my son Harry." "Well, I'm Oscar," the other mouse said, twitching his nose and his whiskers, "and this is my barn." Herman answered Oscar back saying, "We are only here because there's a wildfire threatening our home. We'll be leaving soon." Oscar finally replied, "I'm cool with that. I know the best dumpsters for food around here." The rest of the week passed quickly. Oscar, true to his word, showed Herman and his family to the best dumpsters around. They dined on half-eaten sandwiches, apple cores, partially eaten candy bars, and other treats not available up in the mountains. He was a perfect host, and despite their worry, Herman and his family actually enjoyed their stay in Oscar's barn. The rest of the week passed quickly. Soon the danger from the wildfire was over, and the donkeys were going home. Oscar stood by as Herman and his family scurried into the trailers. "I hope all is well at your home," he called out. "Thanks for everything," Hester called back. They rode back in silence, anxious to return home, but fearful of what they would find when they got there. Although the fire had burned all the way to the edge of the road to the donkey farm, destroying everything in its path, they were thrilled to see that there was no damage from the fire to the farm itself or to their home by the water tank, and that it was safe for them to go inside. "I'm so glad to be home," squeaked a grateful Winnie, speaking for everybody in the family. The end, for now.